So, part one, find your voice. So I mentioned I was in a rut creatively. I felt kind of like I was just kind of doing the same thing, like a rinse and repeat sort of thing. I mean, if you photograph weddings, who photographs weddings here? I love weddings. So if you photograph families, it's kind of the same thing. So a wedding is you're taking pictures of people kissing, hugging, walking down the aisle, signing papers, cutting cakes. Like, it's kind of the same thing. And I love it, but I think I needed just something for me to feel like I was doing. Like, sometimes you're doing good work, but you just feel like you're not because you're doing the same thing. When something becomes boring to you as a creative, you might feel like literally you might be in despair or kind of feel low about your creative skill, which is totally independent of your actual skill. Like, you might be doing a great job, but you might just feel bad. Now, wedding photography is really profitable and it's a strong industry. It's easy to make money doing that. Like, you can make good money per wedding you shoot. So that's profitable. Family and lifestyle photography is in its own category. I didn't want to compete with $300 family sessions and mini sessions. So to go from a wedding where you're making multiple thousands of dollars in a day to go to make, let's say you could only do 2 families in a day. Like, you take a Saturday, do 2 families. I don't want to do them for $300 or something. Like, it's just such a drastic difference in income. So I was really avoiding that part of the market. People would phone me for family photo shoots. I'd be like, no, I don't really do that, or I'd just say that. But I had this problem. People who get married tend to have children. And as a wedding photographer, I really connected with the people I worked with, and I really liked that. And they had children, and then when those people asked me to photograph for their family, I was like, okay, I'll try it, I'll do it. I have a typo in this next slide. Whatever. I is important to me. So it is important to me to continue capturing the story of the brides I worked with. That really mattered to me. And I think just based on my values and who I am, I wanted to make it work. And I didn't want to compete with mini sessions, and I didn't want to compete with like low session fees. So I was like, there's got to be a way to make this profitable and rewarding. Matt was talking this morning about the things you do out of passion. And part of it for me is like, I really like people. So for me, I mentioned I photographed furniture a couple months ago, patio furniture. It's not my passion, but people definitely are. And so I was like, I really want to be able to continue to work with the families I started photographing. I wanted to offer something unique to my clients and make it profitable. So I was like, okay, how can I do that? One of the things I did is I bought a printer a couple years ago, or 3 years ago. I bought a large format printer. I was like, hey, I'm gonna make canvas prints for my clients. I saw that as a problem. People would phone me after 8 years since I photographed their wedding, and they'd be like, oh, can we have the USB again? We lost it, and we have no prints on the wall. Like I was like, that's awful. It's a bad problem. And so for me, it was like, I need to do something that means something to me, is special to my clients, and honors sort of who I am and is profitable. So I'm gonna show you a video. I made this is the first video I made with my DSLR that was just sort of like being creative. This next video, it really sparked something in me that was missing for a long time. I'll just show it to you and then we'll go on. So. So we were just at the lake. I just took my camera out with me. It's my youngest daughter, my wife. We were with my brother-in-law and their kids. We're just having fun. Could have been the cheapest sunglasses, I don't know. So this was just like I took my camera out, and for me, it did something. Oh wait, there's another slide here. Oh. I'm a dork if you didn't know that. This is the first time I used my camera to create a video. And for me, that video really sparked something back into me, because it was like I get caught up in like what photography is to a lot of people, or what people expect it to be. And it kind of got away from what I wanted it to be for me. I was like, I remember making it like, so I sat on the couch in the cabin after we were on the boat, sat there. I think I made it in like 30 minutes. I put all the footage in the timeline, threw a song on, edited it. I showed my family around the fire. That like, I took that video of the fireplace, finished it up, and then like I showed them like right there. It was kind of neat. It was my story. It honored who I was as a creative person. The content of itself, like of it, was like, that was my life. Like when I watched that, every time I watch it, now it's over a year old, it really reminds me of what my life was like. And I have this motto that I use with my clients. It's, the life won't always be like this. My niece is way older now. She's taller than me now. She was the older girl in the video. My son running with his buzz cut, like he was, I guess he would have been 5 there. Now he's 7, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. He doesn't look like that. He's lost his 2 front teeth. My little baby doesn't use a soother anymore. All these things have changed for me, and I was like, that's amazing. That's what I want. It gave me the idea that I could share it. Like that could be something I make for people. Now this wasn't like an idea I made. Like I didn't invent hybrid photography. In fact, I knew about it for like a couple years. So I first heard of it from a photographer in Ontario named Taylor Jackson. I just didn't have the proper equipment to kind of do it. And I don't know, I just kind of wasn't, I guess, ready. Like everybody will try things when they're ready to do it. And I was ready to try it. So I just made that video. Part of it is I got a new camera just before that summer. And that new camera could do a few things that I really liked, and I was like, let's try this out. I shared that video online. I had a mother message me and ask me to do it for their family. So a client we've never worked together. We knew of each other, but she messaged me directly, and she was like, I want that for me. Like just the video. I was like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. So that was kind of the question. It was like, could I do it? I wasn't sure if I could actually do it. Like, how do you do that and photograph? I had some fears. Could I photograph a session by myself and get enough clips to make something and like promise someone, and also not ruin the photography? Like I didn't want it to ruin the photography session, if that makes sense. Like if I'm recording, I'm not taking a photo, right? So I needed to try.